This was really unlike anything that we have ever seen before. President Trump's stunning embrace of an enemy on foreign soil still reverberating this morning. Many allies in agreement that by aligning himself with Vladimir Putin over his own intelligence agencies, President Trump appeared more cowardly than courageous. Overnight, President Trump returning back home, hailing his summit in Helsinki with Russian President Vladimir Putin as a success.
I thought it was a really amazing time.
On Fox News, focusing on his own fate, using Putin as a character witness.
You were very strong at the end of that press conference.
He said there was no collusion whatsoever. I guess he said as strongly as you can say it, they have no information on Trump.
And again, blaming his own Justice Department and the FBI for the Mueller investigation that only hours earlier he trashed as a disaster for our country, ruining relations with Russia.
It has driven a wedge, and President Putin said that they drove a phony wedge, just a phony witch hunt, rigged deal.
Putin also appearing on Fox News, repeating his denials about any Russian interference in the U.S. election.
Do you really believe that someone acting from the Russian territory could have influenced the United States and influenced the choice of millions of Americans?
Mr. Trump's attempt to do damage control after refusing to condemn the Russian leader.
I hold both countries responsible. I think that the United States has been foolish. I think we've all been foolish.
Failing to erase a chorus of criticism from both Democrats and Republicans.
Let's not mince words. Today was a terrible day for the American brand, for the American people, and for all of our allies.
I never thought I'd see an American president throw the intelligence community under the bus like that.
His behavior is so inexplicable and so against the interests of the United States.
John McCain blasting it as one of the most disgraceful performances by any American president in memory. And President Obama's CIA director, John Brennan, branding Mr. Trump's performance treasonous. The president even stunning his own aides, siding with an American adversary over his own intelligence experts.
When they said they think it's Russia, I have President Putin. He just said it's not Russia. I will say this, I don't see any reason why it would be.
That drawing a quick rebuke from Dan Coats, the director of national intelligence, delivered without White House approval. We've been clear in our assessments of Russian meddling in the 2016 election, and we will continue to provide unvarnished and objective intelligence in support of our national security. Many Republicans warning the president's comments will embolden Putin to interfere again in future elections.
I do feel that we have both made some mistakes. I think that the probe is a disaster for our country. I think it's kept us apart. It's kept us separated.
Putin's key revelation, admitting he wanted Trump to win, believing he'd bring the U.S.-Russian relationship back to normal. And privately here, multiple aides tell me the president ignored his advisors urging him to take a tougher stand with Putin. For all the backlash, especially among Republicans, the real question this morning, will there be any action? So far, I think what's notable, many of those Republican lawmakers are drawing a distinction, criticizing the president's position, but not criticizing him personally. Savannah?
All right, Peter Alexander, thank you so much.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.